If you wanted to revisit a controversial power shift without saying so too loudly, what would you do? You probably wouldn't put it front and center as a clearly labeled public discussion that night. You'd spend 90 minutes on it at a weekday retreat, call it a review, and then slip a vague update onto the regular meeting agenda a few hours later. And that's exactly why Academy District 20's March 12th agendas deserve scrutiny. The spring retreat starts at 9 a.m. on a weekday, with a full block from 9:15 to 10:45 for review of policy governance. Later that same day, the regular board meeting agenda lists only a written report called Policy Governance Update. This matters because the board has already tried this once. Last summer, the D20 board pushed Resolution 248-25, a proposal that would have given the board a much more direct role in administrative policymaking, cutting into the structure of the district's existing policy governance model. The move drew public backlash, and the vote was postponed. Board President Amy Shandy said the board needed more discussion, and even said it was the kind of thing that would be the perfect thing to talk about in the board retreat. So now we're at the retreat. 90 minutes on policy governance. Changes to consider. Review and update of BOE vision statement. Rules of engagement. This is not a passing mention. This is a serious governance conversation happening during the workday, away from the kind of public attention that usually comes with a regular evening board meeting. And then the public gets what exactly? This also appears to be Brad Miller's first D20 board retreat as district counsel. Reporting says Miller's firm began representing the district on February 1st, 2026. So one of the first major governance conversations in this new legal chapter appears to be a weekday retreat, centered in part on policy governance, followed by a vague written update that night. That doesn't look like transparency. It looks like a pattern. First, the board tried to move away from policy governance in the summer, buried in a consent agenda, and backed off when the community caught it. Now policy governance is back on the agenda at a weekday retreat with a same-night update and no clear public explanation of what is changing. If the board is reconsidering policy governance, then say so plainly. Say what is changing. Say why it is changing. Say who is pushing it. And say it where the public can actually see it before the conversation is effectively over. Because when a board tries once to loosen the guardrails on governance, gets stopped, and then comes back through a retreat and a vague update, the community isn't being cynical by asking questions. The community is doing its job. And if the board won't do this in the open, people are right to ask what exactly they don't want the public to see.